Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Circuit Breakers. Please put your hands together for your host and compere, Leroy Brito!
Welcome! How is everyone? Good? Good? A little bit more energy than that, please. How is everyone? Yes, that's nice. Welcome to Circuit Breakers. Yeah. I'm going to have to ask again. Welcome to Circuit Breakers. Yes, good. I'm from Wales. Usually that gets some type of reaction, which is good. Good. Thank you. I'm very happy at the moment, man. I was recently named at the start of the year as Wales' favourite black comedian. So, you know. I'm Wales' only. Black comedian. Also Wales' only male Leona Lewis lookalike as well. Once you see that shit, you can't unsee it, can you? Yes. So everyone's out for Circuit Breakers. You know what the night is, yeah? Yeah? Okay. Explain to me then, please. New acts hand-selected by the Leicester Comedy Festival who are going to break through to the circuit. Yes. So I'm excited because I've never met these guys, so I'm really excited to see these people. But it's my job to get everyone warm, get everyone understanding what the night is, and just make sure we understand and get to know each other. So I'm going to get to know each other. So what's your name, my friend? Rachel. Nice. Everyone say hello to Rachel. Hi. She is the guinea pig, so hey Rachel, how are you? You okay?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good, yeah. Thank you. It doesn't usually happen now. So thank you. Me and you are friends already. What do you do, Rachel?
I'm a PhD student.
Oh, nice. Here we go. So what are you PhD in?
In Leicester Comedy Festival.
No way! About how compares down my ass. Yeah, cool, okay. Well, we'll leave you because that seems way over my head.
Yeah.
But welcome to the show. Jesus Christ. We'll move to this side. So, man in the hat. I love a good hat. How are you, my friend?
All right, you?
Yeah, good. What's your name?
Billy.
Billy, that's a fucking solid name, Billy. Yes, Billy. When did you give up William? When did you chuck William away?
I've always been Billy.
You've always been, so your birth certificate is Billy?
Yeah, practically gypsy.
Oh, wow, okay. I'm a bit stuck there. Never thought the audience was going to be racist, but yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So who are you with, Billy?
Adele.
Nice to meet you. Adele?
Yeah.
You say, yeah? Oh, nice to meet you guys. Are you together?
No.
Just friends?
Cousins.
Okay, are you together? That's the question there. You split up, but you're still going out because you bought tickets together, yeah?
We both recently got divorced.
Did you? Oh, fair play. Fucking no, seriously, it's a good thing, divorce.
Yeah.
It is a good thing, divorce. But I'm a married man, but I'm close. Oh, man. I didn't realise how close I am. Me and Mark, you go through ups and downs in a relationship, you do. And it's tough. But the only thing that's keeping me and my wife together is the cost of living crisis. The price of a bed sit, a one-bedroom bed sit, I'm like, no, we've got to take these vows a little bit more serious, you know what I mean? Yeah. I've been married for 5 years now. We got married on the island of Ibiza, and we chose Ibiza because we didn't want children or old people fucking up the vibe, basically. Do you know what I mean? Where did you get married, Billy? Are we allowed to talk about it? Yeah, where'd you get married?
In Coventry.
In Coventry, okay, not the same. Different levels. But we didn't want children there, but I did have one kid there. I had my son, who was 14 at the time, as my best man. Yeah. Some people say it's nice, others look at me with hate. Usually the men looking at me with hate thinking, how shit was your stag do? Didn't think it through. Billy, you've been on a few stags, you look like. What's the dream of a stag, my friend?
Now or back then?
Back in the day. Back in the prime Billy, I'm talking now. Pre-hat, hair flowing, prime Billy. Come on.
Somewhere with a bit of sun.
Exactly, abroad. Getting drunk at the airport?
Well, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit of police arresting as well, a little bit of drama. No, see, I'm into that. You've got to. You go on a stag, you've got to have a story to tell at the wedding. You've got to have a story. So the thing is, I wanted to go like to Amsterdam, get hammered, get beat by the police. That's what I wanted to do. But when the 14-year-old's organising it during term time, it doesn't really work like that. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't. So we end up going out to Cardiff, where I live, for my own stag do. And how bleak is that? Bleak. And, you know, jobs who a bouncer wouldn't let a 14-year-old into a strip club for one. Bullshit. So we end up going back to my house to do what 14-year-olds do every single night. And what's that? Who's got teenage kids? Teenage kids, let's go to McDonald's for the McFlurry. Boring. Then he wants to play Fortnite. Boring. It got interesting because we started Snapchatting some 14-year-old girls. I got arrested on my stag do, that's what I'm trying to tell everyone. Almost lost you there, didn't I then? Almost. Billy's like, yeah, I like that one. Yes. So anybody come here to see anybody tonight? So I know there's like, is there family members here or something like that? Yeah? No? It's good. So you've got to cheer for everybody though. You've got to. What's your names, my friends? Mark and Helen. Nice to meet you. I'm not going to ask too much because otherwise it might be weird for the audience, for the act, sorry. So yeah, this is nice. I like Leicester. I've only been here for like an hour. And it's a nice, no, it's only got, it's like a nice vibe to it, that's what I mean. It's a nice multicultural city, I love it. I grew up in the part of Cardiff, which is like a historical multicultural place, a place called Tiger Bay. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. Yeah, the TV program back in the day, it's basically, it was a port back in the day, and it was a really multicultural place. So I grew up in the 1980s, and it was beautiful. Lots of different people, lots of different colours, lots of different religions, no racism. It was beautiful. First time I experienced racism, I was like 12 years old, first week of high school, and I beat up a little Polish kid. That's definitely going to PhD, isn't it? It's definitely in the PhD. Yeah, I'm getting a citation there. Not many people see that one coming, see? Do they? Especially Pavel, the little fucker. It was a rough school I went to, Mark. I'll give you an example of how rough the school is. So we had our reunion recently. Welcome to the show. How's it going? Were you? Yeah. And they didn't let you in?
Well, they wanted us to make an appearance.
Oh, it's an entrance. Everyone give a round of applause. How's it going? You okay? Welcome to the front, brave as well, front row. Didn't have much of a choice, did you? You didn't have much of a choice. Welcome to the show, guys. No, I was talking to them, but yeah. Yeah, you've had yours already, girls, okay? You lads okay? Yeah, take a seat. Wait, you're going to have to just take a seat next to him. That's all you're going to have to do. Cool. I'm going to have to talk to you a little bit, though, man. So first of all, why the fuck are you late? That's the question. No, I'm not talking to you. It's them. It's not about you, girls. It will be later. I'll talk to you later. But at the moment, I'm looking over you and talking to the two guys by there.
The train.
The train was late. Ah, mate, okay. That's no problem. What about you? See, it's your turn now.
The restaurant was late.
The restaurant was late. Was it?
I'm
Don't talk about the restaurant downstairs. Is wonderful. Do not complain about the restaurant downstairs. It is wonderful. I apologise for the Leicester Comedy Festival for cursing out the venue. Come on now. So can I take your names then, please? Josh? Nita? Rupa? Pretty. Oh, welcome to the show. Everyone's saying welcome to the show, man. Oh, we forgot about you! We forgot about you! I feel terrible. I do feel Sorry, what's your name? Sorry. Pardon me? DT. I'm Leroy. Nice to meet you. Oh, man, I feel fucking terrible. So, catch up. I'm from Cardiff. I beat up a Polish kid. That's all you need to know, okay? So it was a rough school. It was a rough school, so I'll give you an example of how rough it was. So it was like the reunion invitation come through the post. 20-year reunion since I left high school. I know. Cocoa butter, guys, it's cool. Keeps me fresh, yeah? And the invitation said, Fitzallen High School, reunion 12 till 6 p.m. I'm like, 6 p.m.? You might not know this, but I'm almost famous in Cardiff. I want to show off to people that I've made it, yeah? So I phone up the head teacher. I'm like, Miss, because I still got respect for the teacher. You've got to have respect for the teacher. I'm like, Miss, what the fuck is this bullshit? 6 p.m.? She's like, oh yes, Leroy, unfortunately, a lot of ex-students are on tag at the moment. So we're going to have to wrap it up. Yes. I was a good kid in school, but this is how rough the school was. I was the best kid in school with the most prospects, and I still got a girl pregnant at 17. Yeah. I know. My daughter's 23 years old. I don't look old enough, do I? No. I fucking wasn't old enough. Trust me, I was not old enough to have a daughter. Man, so young they asked me to cut the cord with safety scissors. That's how young I was when I had my daughter. Any teenage fathers in the audience tonight? Exactly. I ask that question all the time. We couldn't afford to go out on a Friday night. Couldn't afford to do anything. All the other fathers had their shit together. They were in jobs, with a car, with a house. I was at home doing my A-levels with a skateboard. That's the levels we're talking about, yeah? And they were better than me. I felt small compared to the other fathers. But I knew I would get my comeuppance on them. I knew I would get revenge on these pricks. I knew sports day, first year of primary school, father's race, it's on. I'm 22 years old. All the other guys are in their 40s, yeah? It's like Usain Bolt racing the Rolling Stones. It's too easy. Too easy. So I'm at the start line now. The headmistress said all the dads line up, so I'm there. Lycra, spikes, Lucasade Sport, just ready to dominate these pricks, yeah? Dominate. Some guy called Alan, an accountant, bald head, in his 40s, bit of a belly. He comes up to me and says, listen, Leroy, go easy on me. My wife's watching. I'm like, fuck you, Alan. Doesn't work like that, Alan. This is going to happen, Alan. I'm going to win this race. I'm taking your MILF home. That's what I'm doing, Alan. I won Father's Race 15 years in a row. Yeah. Any other Father's Race champs in the audience? No? Any runners in the audience? You could have some runners here. Nobody is... No. We're going to have to question this now. So you're telling me nobody in Leicester has moved 1 foot forward quicker than the other? You guys won the Premier League, didn't you? By chance. No, it was a fair... No. It was a wonderful, wonderful thing when you guys won the Premier League. Any football fans in here then? Few. I knew you were part of it. I knew you... You look like you've been a hooligan back in the day, haven't you? You've been in a few scraps. No? So you support Leicester City?
No.
Who do you support then?
Liverpool.
Liverpool, okay. That's fair enough. Are you from Liverpool originally?
No, my dad's Scouse, so
Oh, fair play.
wouldn't be allowed to live at home.
No, I know exactly what it's like, mate. I know exactly what it's like. So who else? Nobody supports Leicester here. Wow, you support Leicester. Yeah, but you're the only person who said you support Leicester, and you were like, well, it was lucky. Oh, well, fair play.
I didn't bet on them, otherwise I could have made it.
Oh, you, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you'd have come on a helicopter if you bet, wouldn't you? Yeah, of course. Jeez.
You're on time.
So I want to do, so there's no running activity. Anyone go to the gym or anything like that in Leicester, or are we talking like these two? We're going to have to ask you. How's it going? You okay? Welcome to the show. Everyone say welcome to the show, man. How are you doing? You okay? Good. Yeah, I'm good. Can I ask a question? Why were you late? Oh, Mum. Moving house. Oh, man. Do you know what? I didn't even realise you were there. I must ignore the last person on the thing. So it's just the thing. So you've moved house.
Yes.
Wow, today.
Yes.
And then still come to the show.
Yes.
Fair play. No, fair play. Is it just boxes and shit, or have you emptied everything out? And... Wow. Can I ask how much the price was?
The house or the actual removals?
No, the house. I don't care about the removals. No, nobody goes to someone's house and like, oh, so how much they charge you for coming here? How much is the house? I just want to gauge how we're talking about.
These 2 million.
Oh, nice. Could you buy a watch next time with that money? Be on time a little bit. Wow. So anyway, I run. That's what I want to get to the point. I was asking people if you run because I run because I'm a hero. I've done the London Marathon. Thank you. Don't woo me. You don't know my time yet. I could have been that guy at the end, you know, when they're trying to open the roads up. They're like, come on, hurry up. I done it, and I was loving it. At the end, I wanted to be like Mo Farah. Do we like Mo Farah in Leicester? We do like Mo Farah in Leicester, yeah? I've got to ask that question, because sometimes you ask that question, and people are like, nope, we don't like him. He's a drugs cheat. I'm like, shut the fuck up. He's not a drugs cheat. He's like, he does steroids. I'm like, he does steroids. He's 7 stone. That's not a steroids head, is it? I'm from Wales. We've got a whole rugby team of steroids head. I've seen what they look like, yeah? What's he like, though? He's more like a crackhead, isn't he? He is. I've been in Leicester for an hour, and I've seen a lot of crackheads around. What's the telltale signs of a crackhead? Crackheads, number 1, skinny, check. Number 2, crackheads always on the run somewhere, check. And number 3, crackheads are always trying to sell you some random shit. Like Quorn. You guys are absolutely lovely, and you've got an amazing show for you tonight. So the rules of the show is basically just laugh. How easy is that? Everybody's in now. Are we waiting on anyone else to come in first before I bring on the first act? It wasn't a question for you guys. It's out there, really. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So we're going to just practice just the noise and the ambience. So we're going to start with the house, the £2 million house lady. We are. Give us like £1 million worth of claps. There we are. That's nothing to you. Give us tax avoidance clapping. Give us a fucking round of applause. How about that? Say yes, there we go. Practice. Everyone go practice. Stop. And then start again. There we go. More energy, please. We're going to love the first act. Please welcome to the stage, Caryl Burke.
Hello. Oh, this is exciting. I feel like I do have to start with a quick disclaimer though, because I'm quite new to stand-up. I only got into it recently because I thought it might be a fun way to like meet new people, maybe make some new friends, because I don't have many friends. So, well, no, I say that. I do have 1, 2, 3 friends, and until recently I did have 4, but then my mum died, so. Back down to 3. Was that too much? Too much to start with, maybe. I'm sorry. But if it makes anyone feel better, my mum did have a very twisted sense of humour, and she's up there now, thrilled that I'm, exploiting her death to get some cheap laughs from strangers. So don't worry about it. It's all good. But yeah, body positivity is a big thing at the moment, isn't it? People still trying to like make that happen. And I'll be honest with you, it's something that I do struggle with a little bit because there's not too much to be positive about this body. I mean, apart from the obvious, you might have noticed. It's usually the first thing that people notice about me. I get a lot of comments, a lot of jokes, and just the other day, actually, someone stopped me on the street just to tell me that they thought I had a really nice big pair of eyes. So, at least I got that going for me, right? No, he was talking about my boobs. I got big boobs. Was that clear? There they are. I don't know why I did that. But, people think that having big boobs is like this great, amazing thing. And honestly, let me tell you, it is. It's so much fun, honestly. It's brilliant. But no, like when most things are good and bad things, like I haven't had eye contact from a man in about 15 years, but there are some bad things as well, like, thanks. I work for a TV company, and sometimes they'll send me clips over to watch and to make notes on. And I was watching one once, and halfway through it changed to slow motion, which I thought was weird. And then as I went to write something down, I realized that my left tit was pressing on the space bar. Just wasn't playing right, so mystery solved. The other thing that happens quite often is that I forget how far they stick out, right? So quite often I will open a door kind of into them, which is not great. But it is usually the fridge door, and I have a little snack afterwards, so it's not too bad. It's not bad. I quite like that one because it's like a boob joke and a fat joke. It's like a 2-in-1, which is fun. But yeah, they don't help me with the dating though. I am single, and it is going terribly. So bad that a few weeks ago I went to the dentist, and he held my face like this, and I realized it was the nicest way a man's touched me in months. But he was holding my face like this, and he was giving me a filling. Hello. No. But I started feeling like he was flirting with me a little bit because he was asking me all these questions. He was like, how often do you brush? Do you floss? And I'm like, oh my God, you're obsessed with me. And then at one point, he leaned forward and accidentally pulled my hair a little bit, and that's when I really thought he was flirting with me. So then at the end, when he leaned forward, I hugged him, but he was just taking off that paper bib that they give you. And, well, my tooth was the only thing that got filled that day. Sorry. That's fair, that was gross. Yeah. My ex and I, we broke up during lockdown, though, so it was a weird time to be trying to, like, meet people again, and I ended up going on a FaceTime date. I don't know if anyone here has been on a FaceTime date. They're awful, aren't they? Terrible. I mean, if you don't know what a FaceTime date is, it's just like any other video call, but at some point, they will ask to see your tits, right? And that's always so awkward when that happens, because it's like, it's really hard to hold your phone and take your bra off at the same time. Nice. I feel like at this point, I know I've talked a lot about my boobs, but just to clarify, that was a joke, and I don't show my breasts to strange men that I meet on the internet. Not for free, anyway. What up? No, I am joking. I'm joking. I'm joking, Mum, just in case she's watching. Can you imagine? Be okay. But no, I had this FaceTime date. It was with this guy. Let's call him Tom, because that was his name. And it was going quite well until he goes, "Tell me how you got that scar." And I said, "What scar?" And he said, "That one on your forehead." And I don't have a scar on my forehead. What I have is just a big wrinkle, because I do this all the time. And I explained that to him, and he said, "Oh, God, sorry, I thought maybe you'd been in an accident." I said, "No, that's just my face, Tom, but thanks." That was excellent. But yeah, it's fun dating, because like you're learning about other people, but in a way, you're also learning about yourself. And what I've learned about myself is that men don't like me. They are not buying what I'm selling. Not that I'm selling it, you know, I wouldn't do that, I just meant more, you know. Not that I'm judging people who do, like if you do sex work, good for you, do you know what I mean? Just for me personally, I can't give it away for free. Not that I'm giving it away for free like I'm easy, I just meant, you know what, forget it. Dating, it's fun though. I mean, if your definition of fun is getting sent pictures of penises you didn't ask for, and constantly debating whether pineapple belongs on a pizza, listen, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care. But boring men keep putting in their Tinder profiles. They're like, pineapple on pizza, thoughts? I don't have any. I don't care. I don't care. What do you have on your pizza? That was so aggressive. Let me just come. I'm so sorry. What was your name? Sorry. Chris. Nice to meet you, Chris. Do you like pineapple on your pizza? Sure. Yeah, well, have it then. But let's not have a big discussion about it. Do you know what I mean? I'm so sick of talking about it. I'm so sorry, Chris. The problem is, right, I got my period the other day, and I won't go into too much detail, don't worry, but I was having really bad cramps, and I was like, oh, this uterus. And then I was like, you know, some women have like a uterus, a womb, all this stuff that men don't have, and I was like, well, what do men have here instead? And that's when I realized that this is where men keep the audacity. Right? It's just right next to the fucking nerve that they just have built in there, don't they? It's nice for them. But I realized I don't really go on dates to like find a boyfriend these days. Now I go on dates so I can entertain my married friends with stories about how sad my life is. But I think it also makes them appreciate what they have, you know, because if they're going through a rough patch, I'm like, well, stick with it, because there's fuck all else out here. But they'll complain to me about the stupidest stuff. They'll be like, oh, Caryl, he left his dirty pants on the floor again. And I'm like, yeah, did he? Why don't I tell you about the date I went on last week with a guy who lives in a van and proudly told me about the time he ate a gecko. Now, why the fuck would he eat a gecko, right? Good question, Chris. Thanks for asking. He told me that it was when he lived in Australia, and apparently over there, geckos will walk into your house kind of like spiders do over here. And one day he got curious, hit one with a broom, cut its head off, fried it in soy sauce, and ate it. And I had to laugh. I said, you put it in soy sauce? And he looked at me and he went, well, yeah, I'm not going to eat it plain, am I? Because as we all know, the sign of true madness would be eating an unseasoned gecko. That would be mental, right? But you know what the worst part about that story is? After he told me that, I went on 2 more dates with him. And then he ended it with me. So, fellas, that's how much of a catch I am. That man will eat an actual lizard, but not my... No, forget it. That's nasty. I always like to end on a classy note, so I'm going to go. But thanks so much for listening, and enjoy the rest of your night.
Caryl, Burke, everyone! Keep the energy up, keep the energy up. We're going to bring the next act on. Please go crazy for Roman Harris!
Do you all remember? Back when this image right here actually made old people feel safe. Oh, not anymore though. No, they're right back to clutching their handbags every time I walk past them. I'll be honest, that time in history was a time of high anxiety for me, you know, because a black man in a face mask. It's a lot like an old white guy in a long coat outside of primary school, you know, like, I don't get me wrong, both could be totally innocent, right? But it does look suspicious. There's a lot of things to be afraid of these days, you know. There's war, the economy, the Prince Harry autobiography. A lot of things to be afraid of. There's certain things I'm afraid of, yeah. I'm afraid to have kids, man. Parents, give me a cheer. That's probably why. That didn't sound very enthusiastic, if I'm being honest. No, there's a lot of things I'm afraid of. I'm afraid to have kids, you know. I wouldn't volunteer myself for it, in the same way that I wouldn't volunteer myself to be in a horror movie, you know. Yeah, very close, yeah. And if you don't know, black people usually die really early in horror movies, right? And I'm pretty sure my kids would be the death of me, man. No, but I'm scared about a lot of things regarding kids. Like, what would I name them, you know? Because, for example, my name is Roman Harris, right? And let's face it, when you hear the name Roman, there's certain things that get conjured up in your mind, you know? You think of empire, soldiers, you know, military might. You don't think of a man who's 5'6" on a good shoe day, you know? And I'll have you know, today is a good shoe day, all right? Like, I'm rocking it tonight, you know what I'm saying? But no, you don't think of that. And also, like, for example, I'm amazed at my parents, right? They saw a little black baby come out, and they decide, she found that very funny, right? We know who likes black babies. Oh, but she saw a little black baby come out, and she decided to give me, like, the whitest name possible, you know what I mean? Which did nothing for my street credibility. But on the flip side, improved job opportunities. Like, I'm telling you, like, that helped a lot, you know? Like I say, I'm scared about what I'd call my kids. I'm also scared about where I would raise them, you know, because times are changing. I grew up in a very exotic part of the world. You might have heard of it. It's called Brixton, South London, yeah? That's where I'm from, right? And Brixton, if you don't know, it used to be a very rundown area, but it's changed a lot. It's become heavily gentrified, right? Or as my friends would say, the White Walkers are coming! I thought that was a bit aggressive from them, if I'm being honest. But nah, it's expensive. It's expensive. It's like £800 a month on average to rent a room in Brixton. And it amazes me people can afford that and still afford ketamine. But they really can still afford ketamine. And I'd know, because I'm making a huge profit on ketamine right now. I'll be honest, that joke's a little bit stereotypical, like, to be honest with you. And I try and break stereotypes everywhere I go. That's why I'm always on time. I know how to swim, yeah? And honestly, I've got a really tiny dick. Like, so tiny. Like, honestly, like, I swear. Breaking stereotypes all the time, people. I know. I'm worried, though. I'm worried about that, you know? Also, like, my area's changed so much. Like, at the end of my street, right, there used to be a chicken and chip shop, and now it's a sushi restaurant, yeah? Right, it's changed a lot. And wonder, actually, with chicken, this is just a side note, you know, when chickens are alive, we just think of them as animals, but once they're dead, they become heavily objectified, you know? They become a breast. They become a leg. They become a thigh. Like, when I'm at KFC, I don't know whether to lick my lips or wank. Like, I'm torn. Obviously, I don't lick my lips at KFC. Come on. No, sorry, like I was saying, used to be a chicken and chip shop, now it's a sushi restaurant. So the local guys in the area, they're not talking about chicken wings. They're debating the best type of tuna for sushi, yeah? I walked past them the other day, they're like, yo, my guy. Yo, it's all about that bluefin tuna, you know, my guy. Oh, my days! Then his friend got passionate, was like, bruv, do I look like a dickhead? It's never the bluefin tuna, my guy. It's all about that big eye tuna. It's best for sashimi. I was like, is this my area? You know what I mean? But also I was thinking, like, why are they talking like that? Because they were both Japanese. You know what I mean? Could not understand it, man. But you know, you gotta earn a lot of money to live in an area like mine. And I used to have some great jobs in the past. Like, I actually used to be a firefighter, yeah? Swear down. And I know you're looking at me thinking, no, like, surely you needed a ladder for the ladder. But no, like, I used to be a firefighter. It was a great job to have, but just like any job, some days it was hard to get out of bed and go into work. You know, I'm sure you can appreciate that sometimes. But what would always get me out of bed and get me into work, right, is the knowledge that somewhere out there, somewhere out there, there's a cat. Stuck up a tree. And it's my responsibility to use a high-pressure hose to blast that fucker out of it. I ain't gonna lie. That joke usually separates the cat lovers from the people with a sense of humor. Yeah, like, I don't know, we can't have both. Like. Come round your house and sort your cat. Well, what an invitation. You know what, I'm only here for a few nights, but I just might do it, son. Jeez. But now, man, interesting. I actually had other jobs. I used to be an Uber driver for a while, yeah? And during the Uber driver training, I remember we were sat in a room and they said to us, by no means are you to touch the customers, all right? And when they said that, one of us stood up and was like, well, what's the bloody point then? And then just ran out, right? And I was so shocked because no one else got up and ran out with me. You know what I mean? Like, I was so alone in that moment. But driving for Uber, though, it introduced me to the Prius, right? Lovely car, okay? I see you, it's a lovely car, okay? And people say, why do you still drive a Prius? I say, it's because I like watching drunk people come up to my car on Saturday night thinking I'm their Uber driver, you know? I don't tell them I'm not, though, no. I just let them get in. And when they're sitting comfortably, I turn the music down. Do you believe in love after love? And then I say to them, can I tell you a secret? Mother never loved me. It was always sister, sister. I'll tell you another secret. Lock the doors. I don't drive for Uber anymore! Oh, what am I like? I think I am responsible for more people taking public transportation now than ever, though. I know, man. But like I said, man, I do think about like having kids and stuff like that. But maybe I need to find someone first, because that's a tough thing, finding someone to have kids with. Like I was on a dating app, and there's a lot of abbreviations you got to get your head around on these apps. There was one abbreviation called ENM. I didn't know what that meant, right? Found out it means ethical non-monogamy. Okay. I was so relieved to hear that, because I thought it meant ears, nose, and mouth. Right? I was thinking, like, what is this woman into, right? But like, how big are her nostrils also? Because you got to breathe, you know what I mean? But my parents, man, my parents are getting on my case now. They're like, raw man boy. My dad's like, raw man boy, tell me, why you don't have any children, eh? Is what wrong? And I should let you know, my dad, he's Scottish, yeah? He's like, raw man, what wrong? You shooting blanks? Your runners can't run, your swimmers can't swim? I was like, no, Dad. It's just that my pull-out game is impeccable, thank you very much. But he got in my head, right? He got me thinking, what if I am shooting blanks? You know? Because it's not like I've never shot the club up before. Sorry, some of you got that, some of you don't. I'll explain, okay? Like, the first time I ever heard this term, it was in an American sitcom, right? And it means having unprotected sex, right? And it's such a violent term, you know? Shoot the club up. Like everyone's in Club Vagina having a good time, you know? Hey, girl, hey. Hey, labia, how you doing? Mm-hmm. I see you, girl. Hey, girl. Hey, Clit. Clit. Well, where is that girl? I can never find her. Clit, don't make me call your whole name now, baby. Labia, what is wrong with her? She just sensitive. She never get enough attention. Hold on, who's that coming through the door there, girl? Is that Dick? Why he ain't wearing a jacket or nothing? And why he trembling like that? Oh, he about to shoot the club up. Y'all pull him out, pull him out. Oh. And then Clit runs over and she's like, no, y'all leave him. I ain't had a foam party in years. And you know what, Leicester? That's my imagination when I'm not on drugs. So, listen, you lot have been great. I've been Roman Harris. Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
Roman Harris, everyone. Yes, yes. We've got one more act in this section. So you're not allowed back in. Just so you know, mate. Just so you know. One more act in this section, then we're going to have a little break. So, oh, he's going right way. Okay, I wondered where he was going then. Are we ready for the final act in this section? Yes. Have you enjoyed yourself so far? Yes, good, good, good. So start the round of applause. Get some energy in here. Start going crazy. Give it up for Adam Hopkins!
Hey. All right. How are we doing? We all right? Good. It's nice to be here. As you can see, I'm a man with glasses. It's not funny. But like, I've not had glasses for very long, so I'm still getting used to being a guy with glasses. So for like 30 years, I didn't need them, and then one day the universe was like, we need to make it look like this guy knows a lot about Bitcoin. And like, I think I look okay, but then the other day someone told me I look like the guy who gets the most pussy in the physics department. It's like being the hottest girl in Wetherspoons. I am winning a contest that nobody wanted to enter. I live down in London because I have that fetish where I like to spend 30 quid every time I leave the house. And I live next door to a guy from Serbia, which is pretty cool because the landlord is terrified of him and the rent will never go up. And like, when I moved in, we were getting to know each other, like, where you're from, what's your hometown like? And he was like, I'm originally from a small village in Kosovo. It's a disputed territory in between Serbia and Albania. In the early 90s, ravaged by Kosovo War. Much destruction, much suffering led me to grow up with natural suspicion of ethnically born Albanians. What about your hometown? I'm from an undisputed territory in between Leeds and Bradford. And we have a farmer's market on the second Saturday of every month. And he's like, sounds like we both had it pretty tough. He's my best friend down there, he's a good guy. I'm still quite new to London, I've been trying to meet people. I met a girl recently who told me she trained horses for a living. And I thought she meant for racing, but it turned out she meant for dressage. And we got into a bit of an argument because I told her I don't think dressage is a real sport. All right, what's this, the Leicester Equestrian Society? What the hell? All right. I've got no more horse material. Well, she started getting like really defensive. She's like, actually, I think you find that dressage is the highest level of horse control. I was like, I'm pretty sure the highest level of horse control is ketamine. I've been to music festivals. I've never seen anyone offer tits on horse dancing. Oh, that'd be pretty sick. I'd quite like that. I write for a living. At the moment, I have a contract with a big university. I'm not allowed to say which one it is, but I can tell you it's an anagram of Economic School, London of. Good luck cracking that code. During the pandemic, I worked as a data journalist, and what that involved was like seeing all the cases and the deaths from all the countries around the world, which was quite depressing. But you did learn some interesting stuff. Like, did you guys know there's an island off the coast of Canada called Saint-Pierre and Miquelon, and it's got a population of about 6,000 people, and for a long period in 2020, we just had one case of COVID. And like, I just feel really bad for that one guy. Like, you turn on the local news, today's coronavirus cases report. It's just David. Today's coronavirus prevention measures. Stay away from David. Like, they all know each other, and the reporter looks down the camera, David, you stay at home. But like, I checked back like a few months later, and Saint-Pierre and Miquelon had 17 cases of COVID, and I was like, oh shit, David got out. Can't be contained. I used to date a Mexican girl, and she used to like speaking Spanish in the bedroom, and she thought it was hot if I also spoke Spanish. You're ahead of me. And like the issue with that is like the only Spanish I knew was from Shakira songs. So she'd be like, oh, sí, papi, vámonos. And I'd just be like, la 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 la. La 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 la. Shakira, Shakira. I'll be honest, you guys liked it a lot more than she did. That joke kills in 2009. I did try and learn a little bit of Spanish, and like a good way of learning like a foreign language is by watching like cartoons and kids' TV shows. It's like I started watching SpongeBob SquarePants in Spanish, but I didn't learn anything because I just got really distracted with how Spanish all the characters were. Like SpongeBob is called Bob Esponja. Squidward is called Calamardo. And Patrick, right, they call him Patricio. But for some reason, they just made him really sexy. Because if you've seen the English version, you know he's a bit of a dope. He's like, hey, SpongeBob. But in Spanish, he's like, hola, Bob Esponja. ¿Cómo está? ¿Dónde está señor Krabs? And it's like, whew. My glasses are steaming up. Because like you watch the English version, you're like, I think SpongeBob and Patrick might be gay together. You watch it in Spanish, you're like, I know Bob Esponja and Patricio are lovers. It's hot as shit, guys, and I just want what they have. One of my favourite cartoons when I was growing up was Scooby-Doo. And I heard that recently they tried to reboot Scooby-Doo and make like a darker, edgier, more adult version. I'd love to see that. Could you imagine Scoob and the gang foiling a child sex trafficking ring? We would have got away with it too if we hadn't meddled with those kids. Okay, a round of applause for child sex trafficking. Okay. I see you, Leicester, I see you. Growing up in my house, we used to watch a lot of cartoons with subtitles on because my brother is a deaf person. It's a deaf response. He is profoundly deaf, which means he can't speak and he can't hear. Not that he's just deaf and really profound about it. It's like, yes, I'm the one who can't hear, but it's you who never truly listens. He's very deep. He's a very deep and thoughtful boy. There's not much of like an age gap between us. So like I grew up, I'm fluent in sign language, and when we were kids, we used to hang out with his deaf friends, and we used to go to this like play group called Deaf Club, which I really like because it just sounds like some knockoff Fight Club. It's like the first rule of Deaf Club. If you didn't laugh at that, you weren't looking. But I am fluent in sign language, and I considered a few years ago becoming like a sign language interpreter and being that guy who just appears in the corner of your TV at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Which, by the way, the most pointless job on the planet. No one's watching. Those guys can say anything. If you just appear and be like, I know there's no deaf people watching right now. I can say whatever I want. 9/11 was an inside job. Jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams. Vaccine? No, thank you. My body, my choice. Yeah, if there's just deaf people watching TV getting brainwashed in the middle of the night by a sign language misinformation campaign. I was watching The Big Bang Theory the other night. I had no idea Sheldon had such strong views on Israel. I've been trying to date a little bit down in London. My last relationship, it didn't work out, but the warning signs are always there. You know, she was impatient, red flag. She was rude, red flag. She was from China, big red flag. Literally, it's just a geography joke, guys. Always stay with me, stay with me. Actually, I met this girl out in China because I used to live and work over there. And to live in China, I had to learn Chinese. But I did learn Chinese. I don't speak Spanish. Chinese SpongeBob, different show. Very communist. Patrick's just a big red star. SpongeBob's definitely not gay. And But I do speak pretty good Chinese, and my friends down in London, they know this. So, like, every time we go to Chinatown, they're like, Adam, do the thing, go do it. And, like, they pushed me into a restaurant the last time I just walked in. I was like, hey, ni hao, san wei. And the lady behind the counter just looked at me like, what? And I was like, oh, 不好意思，我们没有定位. And then I looked at the sign on the wall in the restaurant we'd walked into. It was a Korean barbecue. And everyone was just looking at me like, this is the highest level of racism. Did he study for this? I did. Okay, cheers. You guys have been awesome. My name's Adam Hopkins. Thank you very much.
Adam Hopkins! Enjoyed yourself? Just checking now. Nobody saw me fall down the stairs, did they? Phew. That would have been embarrassing. And we're going to have a little break now. Everyone cool for a 20-minute break? Good. Can we have a round of applause for the action scene already? You saw Caryl, Burke, Roman Harris, and Adam Hopkins. We'll see you in 20 minutes.
Cut clean from the dream at night, let my mind reset. Looking up from a cigarette, she's already left. I start digging up the yard for what's left of me in our little vignette. For whatever pushed over is coming next. She's gonna save me, call me baby, from her head to my head. She'll know me crazy, soon be dating, but yet she wouldn't care. We'll steal her Lexus, be detective, ride around children to bed and let the drinks come out. We'll play favorite records and kiss on the mouth. All the friends are over, yeah, out on the weekend. I remember Jackie Nicole, man, he went a perfect pair. Always by blanket to sleep on the ground. And when I heard the song, laughing until the sun came out, run his hands through your hair, but you just smiled. Run his hands through your hair, you just smiled. I remember I was feeling alone. I remember in you. I remember I got a record woman. Baby, all time to the bed out on the weekend. Oh yeah, baby, out on the weekend. Oh yeah, baby, out on the weekend. Oh yeah, baby, out on the weekend. Oh yeah, I remember so many things. Out on the weekend.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage, Leroy Brito!
Welcome. Well done, front row, for being on time. I just need to let you know this is being streamed as well. So yes. So I need to clarify something. The thing I said about divorce earlier. I'm sorry. That was just a joke. I love my wife, man. I love my wife. She's an amazing woman. She works in fashion. My wife, she works as like a proper fashion. She should be like a model scout though. She's like, she can spot a beautiful woman about 2 or 3 seconds before me. And just watches my reaction. Do you know what I mean? We're very much in love. We like to keep things fresh. Who's in long-term relationships here? Whoop, whoop. How long's the relationship?
25 years.
Fair play. Wow. Massive round of applause for that. What's your secret for 25 years of relationship?
Don't tell her.
Don't tell her that she's in a relationship? Okay. Are you a stalker? 25 years. Wow. My little secret for me and my wife, and you can have this, anyone in the new relationship, you can have this for free. This is courtesy of me. Me and my wife like to keep things fresh. Got to keep it fresh. Would you agree? Got to keep it fresh. So every other week, I turn up at the house dressed up as like a sexy TV detective. Yeah. And then I got to figure out why she's not speaking to me. You in one of those relationships as well? Yes, I am. I'm dressed up. I'm not looking like Luther, looking like Columbo. Do you know what I mean? Just walking around like I haven't got a clue what's going on. I haven't got a clue. Speaking of Luther, what's your thoughts on Idris playing Bond? You're into this? You're into this, yeah? Good. Who's against it? Do you want to know why I'm against it? Yeah, because I love Idris Elba. I loved him in The Wire. I even loved him in Family Affairs. That's how long I'm going back, yeah? I loved him in Family Affairs. But, as a proud black man, it hurts me to say I do not want a black Bond. I don't. I don't know. Do you know why? Because I like value for money. I go to the cinema. I sneak my chocolate in and my drinks in under the radar like a Colombian drug mule. That's what I do. I like value for money. So if I go to the cinema and there's a black Bond on, it'd be the shortest Bond ever, wouldn't it? Think about it. Think about it. Idris Elba in a tuxedo. I'll paint a picture. In a tuxedo, driving an Aston Martin in Monte Carlo. Exactly. Looking smooth, yeah? Looking smooth. He stops at the light. Someone's watching him. It's a Karen thinking, why is that black man driving an Aston Martin? He gets to the Casino Royale. The bouncers don't let him in. Goes back to the car. The Karens phoned the police on him. They're like, is this your car, sir? He's like, of course it's my car. Goes to get the license. They shoot him. Adele sings. End of the film. Not the same vibe, is it? 5 minutes worth of film. 5 minutes worth of film. So who had the best break? I want to know who had the best break. Who had the most drinks? Filled in drinks. Billy, I'm asking you, mate. How many drinks you have during the break? You're driving? Ah, what have you got? Oh, wow, a little bit of San Pellegrino. Fiol. Yeah, the brand's San Pellegrino, mate. Yeah, it's like being on holiday. I love that drink. It's like being on holiday. It's like Fanta Lemon, isn't it? It's like that type of drink. We're getting niche into drinks now, guys, just so you know. Anyone got a better drink than Fanta Lemon? Exactly. The king of drinks. So, Roman was talking earlier about shooting blanks. And he was, and I've got a confession to make. I shoot blanks. I know. It's all right. It's my choice. Well, it wasn't my choice. I got 4 children, and I was nominated for an award by the Midwives of South Wales. It's called the Vasectomy Awards, which I wasn't really aware of. But it turns out you have 4 kids, you get nominated for the vasectomy. Any brothers in the audience tonight before we start this? No? I asked if anyone else had a vasectomy at a gig recently, and one guy stood up and said, yes, but it's bullshit. I'm like, what do you mean it's bullshit? He's like, they don't work. I'm like, they don't work. He's like, yeah, I had it done. My wife still got pregnant. It's like, mate, your wife's a hoe. That's what she is. We need to talk about that behavior, really. So, and anyone work in the NHS before we go there? Good. That wasn't really the question and the answer. Anyone work in the NHS? No? You do? What do you do in the NHS? You're a nurse. I fucking love nurses. It's okay, I'm not against you. I love nurses. I massively love nurses. But would you say there's some things need to change in the NHS? Oh, yeah. Yeah? You would say that? Okay, good. If I was in charge of the NHS, you know what I would do? First thing I would do, 9 o'clock in the morning, sack the doctor's receptionists. Sack every single doctor's receptionist across the country. Do you know why? Because I'm tired of auditioning to speak to my doctor in the morning. Do you know what I mean? You're phoning up like 7:59 like a weird psycho, like 50 missed calls, like the stalker over here, do you know what I mean? That type of behavior. And then you get through and you've got to audition to prove, you know what I mean? And I asked, you work, you're a nurse, I did in, what was it, the Cardiff Glee, and a woman came up to me at the end of the gig, and she was like in about 65, and she was really upset. And she's like, listen, I was a doctor's receptionist for 25 years. Voice started going, she said, you don't understand the pressure that we've been under. You don't understand I've been there for people when they've been bereaved, when they found out they've got diseases. And I was like, security! Get this woman out my face ruining the good joke. No, thank you. No, thank you. I was considering a procedure, but I've decided to go against it. So basically, you might not know this, but as I said, in Wales, I'm kind of a big deal, yeah? So much that before lockdown, I had my photo on my barber's wall. That's a fucking big deal, yeah? Now, bear in mind, it wasn't next to like Gareth Bale, it was Duncan from Blue, but that's another story, okay? So after lockdown, I went back to the barbers. He's like, listen, Leroy, we've got to take your photo down. I'm like, why is that? He's like, well, we didn't realize your hairline was receding, and we can't have bald people on our wall. I was like, shit. He's like, yeah, it's really bad. It's terminal, to be honest, mate. And you've got about 3 or 4 haircuts left in you. I was like, fuck. I was like, what can I do? He's like, well, you can go to Turkey for a hair transplant. Yeah. You've all obviously heard of Turkish hair transplants? Yeah? You've been on the website? I went on the website straight away. You're nudging him like he's been. When did you go bald, my friend? 5 years ago. He can't turn back up now with new hair. He's already in the character. He's in the character. But mine's going a little bit, so I could go on the website. I looked on the website, 0 afro hair on there. Nothing at all. So I'm thinking, if I'm paying $3,000 for the hair transplant, I'm not waking up in the morning with a pair of curtains. Looking like Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys. No, thank you. No, thank you. So my son likes to tease me about it as well. He's like, Dad, you're going bald. I'm like, I'm not bald. He's like, yeah, you are. I'm like, no, I'm not. He's like, you're baldy. I'm like, I'm not baldy. He's like, listen, baldy. B-A-L-D-Y. B-A-L-D-Y. Baldy, baldy, baldy. I said, that's amazing, son. Spell hereditary, you little prick. How'd you like that? Who's got teenagers, man? Who's got teenagers here? You got teenagers? They're hard work, aren't they? Hard, expensive work as well. So I live in a nice area now. I live in a place called Penarth, and it's quite a nice area, but it's not the most diverse place where I live. Yeah? There's one other black person on my estate, and his name's Bradley. I don't know who Bradley is. I've never met Bradley, but I keep getting his post. That's how I know his name. Yeah? And my kids are living a different life to me. So who remembers back in the 90s when Halloween meant one thing, and that was a crime wave for children? Do you remember back in the day? I used to dress up, my gang, and another gang would join up, we'd cause a crime wave. You couldn't buy eggs for like 3 weeks beforehand because shit was going down, yeah? My kids go now into this nice place that I live. They go trick-or-treating. They're turning back at the house with like hummus, Prosecco, fucking grapes. Madness. Absolutely. So he's living a different life to me. I'm giving my children a different life that I had. So we go surfing in the summer. You know, that type of adrenaline junkie. He goes skiing in the winter. Always into like adrenaline sports. He's like, Dad, what did you do as a kid for the adrenaline sports? I said, well, I grew up in the 1980s on a council estate. We couldn't really afford to do any of that type of shit. He's like, okay, so what do you do for the rush back in the day? I said, okay, bear in mind, this was the 1980s now, okay? On a council estate. So what we used to do for the rush, we would tease the local paedophile. We get chased by him. If he caught you, it's your fault. Now you know why I won Father's Race. Had to. You guys are absolutely lovely. Are you ready for the next act? We've got 3 acts in this section. Yes. I'm going to move this by here. If you could just pick up your drinks, please, because there's 2 people in this little pass. I don't want your drinks getting all over the place. And your pizzas there. Keep your pizzas there. That's fine. That's not glass. But are you ready? Yes. Good. So please, start stomping your feet. Start going crazy. Give it up for Low Energy Sketches.
Yeah, hi. We're called Low Effort Sketches. We're doing some sketch comedy, and believe it or not, these are our best sketches.
Andy, I've been meaning to talk to you about the children.
Oh, right, yeah, secondary schools, yes. So Adam's been doing really well in chemistry recently.
Oh,
so I was thinking.
Oh, actually, it's not that. I've been meaning to tell you that I've applied to give them up for adoption.
What? How could you do that?
It's actually really easy. You just go onto your local council website and you click Give Up Children.
What?
Please don't be upset.
No, I'm not upset. I just had no idea it would be that easy.
Also, I'm divorcing you.
What? How could you do that?
It's actually really easy. You just go onto your local council website and you click Give Up Shackles of Marriage.
Wow.
Also, I've had your uncle euthanized.
What? How could you do that?
It's actually really easy. You just go onto your local council website and you click Release Bernard from his suffering. And then when it says, Are you sure? You click Yes.
Wow. I would have done that ages ago if I'd known the process would be so intuitive.
Squarespace, user-friendly website design made simple.
That's the first one. Thanks.
Ah, there's a spider in my room. Somebody help me.
I'll handle this.
At this point in the sketch, Alice and Andy realised that they were in danger of perpetuating sexist stereotypes.
Don't step on any of my science equipment, though.
Okay, I'll also avoid your football boots and the huge stacks of cash you've earned from your well-paid job in the financial sector. It's difficult, though, because I'm wearing heels.
Yes, and you must be exhausted from earlier when you opened up to me about all your feelings.
Well, I needed the emotional support, and I'm not afraid to ask for help when necessary. Speaking of, the spider's gone all the way up onto the skylight. Could you give me a hand, please?
I will now violently destroy this spider with my power and dominance. Got it! Unfortunately, my punch was too strong. I just broke through the glass ceiling.
At this point, Alice and Andy felt that they were maybe laying it on a bit too thick.
You're my hero, and you're so brave.
You've got nice tits. Bring, 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 bring.
Hello, you're through to the DVLA. This is Charlie speaking. Can I take your surname, please?
Yes, Thompson. That's Tango, Hotel, Oscar, Mike, Pasta, Sorrow, Oscar nominated?
And your first name?
Oscar. That's Oscar, Scar, Car, Alfa Romeo.
Okay, Mr. Thompson, and how can I help you today?
Yeah, I'd like to buy a custom number plate.
Okay. Please, can you tell me your vehicle type and model?
Car, that's Car, Alfa Romeo, and it's an Alfa Romeo.
And what would you like your new license plate to be?
E-E-E-E-E-E.
How are you spelling that?
Echo, 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 echo.
I'm so sorry, sir. That isn't available. Do you have an alternative in mind?
Oh, not really. That was special for my dad, you see. Those are his initials.
Oh, well, if it's for your dad, how about Papa?
What? P. Just one letter.
No. Papa Alpha, Papa Alpha.
Oh, Papa! Oh, why didn't you say that? That's brilliant. Bravo, Charlie.
Women's rights! Legalize abortion! Women's rights!
That sketch was called Bag for Choice.
Okay, sir. And how would you like your hair cut today?
I'd like it a little longer, please.
Sure, yeah. You mean, like, extensions?
No, 1,000 times no. My hair, longer.
An unusual request, to be sure, but easy enough.
And so they waited for 6.5 weeks.
That's perfect. Thanks so much.
You're welcome, Daniel Richardson.
Sometimes it can be funny to end a sketch by revealing that one of the characters is someone you've heard of. In this sketch, we revealed that one of the characters is someone you've never heard of. We believe this is the first such twist attempted live on stage.
So, how was your date with Vicky last night?
None of your business.
Just wanted to know if it went well.
A gentleman does not kiss and tell.
Oh, if there was kissing, it must have gone quite well. Was it just kissing?
A gentleman does not take Vicky back to his apartment and tell.
I knew it. And did anything happen?
A gentleman does not passionately kiss every inch of a woman's body and tell.
Wow. I think I get the
A gentleman
picture.
does not finger blast and tell.
Oh, God, please stop.
A gentleman does not impregnate and tell.
Are you serious?
A gentleman does not raise the child and tell.
Okay, none of this happened, did it?
A gentleman does not keep the relationship together for the sake of the kid and tell.
How much of this was bullshit?
It was all bullshit. Apart from the finger blasting. Am I right, lads? Am I right? A little bit of finger blasting with the one you love on a Friday night. Am I right? Billy, am I right? Hell yeah, I'm right. Hell yeah, I'm right. Hell yeah.
We're going to end with a musical number.
From the day we arrive on the planet, and blinking step into the sun, there is more to see than can ever be seen, more to do than can ever be done. There's far too much to take in here, more to find than can ever be found. But the sun running high in the sapphire sky, it's great and small on the endless round in the circle of
How was that? We were cracking up backstage there. Everyone enjoying yourselves? Yes, yes, yeah. Give it up for Leicester Comedy Festival first. Take a show like this. Are you ready for the next act then? Start going crazy. Start giving it up. Give it up for Melina Fiol.
Do this thing. First things first, anyone who wants to have sex with me, I'm going to change your mind. Because that's the thing about stand-up comedy, right? I'm really happy to be here, really excited to be playing Leicester Comedy Festival. Things are getting better, but you don't see many acts that look like me a lot of the time. Career path that usually attracts the same kind of sad, lonely white men. And so do I. Because that's the thing about being a mixed race, right? How being mixed race works out for me is my face is Asian, but everything from the neck down is all Spanish, baby. So I'm going to look about 21 forever, which is awesome. I'm 26. But I'm hairy. And when you put all that together, what that means is, it means there's a small subset of society who see me as a goddess. And you want to know who that is? Perverts. We got any in tonight, Leicester? I also do bird noises and screeches, so hit me up. But that's the thing, I am single, and that isn't a proposition to anyone here. But thank you. But are you together? Yes, that's a very high-pitched laugh for someone who's with someone. That's hilarious. But single people, I don't know if you guys ever get told that you're picky. I always get told I'm too picky. Oh, Melina, you're so picky. Think you'll find someone if you're being too picky. Think you're too good for the perverts. I'll give you picky, right? I know a grown woman, right, who refuses to go out with a man if he watches porn. Good luck, bitch. And my friends are useless, right? They're useless. They try to help. But one time, I invited a friend round for a cup of tea. And she said something to me she meant as a compliment, but it got in my head and it ruined my week. She said, Melina, it's so nice that you have so many cushions. I live alone. I've got a lot of cushions because I've got the time. So nice, you've got so many cushions. Because I haven't got room for cushions on my sofa. I have to share it with my boyfriend. The warm embrace of your loved one, Charlotte. You know what happened to me the other week, right? I did my laundry, tipped out onto my bed, and instead of sorting out my socks, I got under the covers, and the weight of it felt good. And it's hard enough being a young woman at 26 years old. It's hard enough being a single young woman. It's hard enough being a young woman when you have the same face as Michael McIntyre. Take a second to breathe in, guys. It's a fucking miracle. I always have to resist the urge to do bits. Oh, I'm absolutely gazeboed. But I think I'm the way I am because of my mum. She didn't have an affair with Michael McIntyre, for the record. But she's the Asian one, right? And she was very overprotective when we were growing up, very overprotective. She wouldn't let us play outside with the other kids. And her line of reasoning was genuinely, girls who play outside get pregnant. So I watched CBBC till I was 17 years old. That's not what you're meant to be doing at 17. At 17, you're meant to be getting fingered in the school toilets. No one in Leicester get fingered in the school toilets? It's weird because I'm from Leicester. What school did I go to? Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. But that's the thing. So because of that, because of being isolated, you ruined your confidence growing up, right? And when you lack confidence when you're an adult and dating, you act really cold and hard to get. But what happens, Leicester, when you act really cold and hard to get is they believe you and fuck off! So I end up in this endless cycle of casual relationships. Anyone here know what a situationship is? Yeah, a couple of people. I'll bridge the gap for those of you who don't have TikTok. So a situationship is a new term for a casual sexual relationship. And what it boils down to is it's essentially someone who will fuck you, use your flat, but they're not going to take you to the Christmas markets. Sound about right? Yes. And that's the thing, right? And a lot of the time it might start off romantic. They might take you out first and they'll dangle the prospect of a proper date in front of you. You know, they might ask you, they might tell you they love you really early on, introduce you to their friends really early on. The last guy that I was seeing, the thing that he dangled in front of me was, one day I'll take you to Nando's. I told that very real story in Huddersfield once, and in the background all I heard was a woman, as soon as I said the word dangle, she just went, "It's cock!" Which is funny and kind of true. But I don't know how you meant to meet someone like you guys. Did you start off as friends first? You met on Tinder? That's okay. That's not Hinge, that's the embarrassing one. But that's the thing, people tell you to start off as friends, right? You start off as friends, maybe you'll find someone. But it's quite tricky. Like the last guy that I was interested in was a friend. And to describe the kind of guy that he was, he's quite a reserved Muslim man. His family expected him to meet a nice Pakistani girl. Bit inconvenient for me. I'm an atheist, right? And I say I'm an atheist, but I'm religious in the same way you might look at your birthday cake candles. Like, I know nothing's going to happen, but I'm not going to tell anyone my wish, just to be on the safe side. And the kind of friendship that we had is one time I got absolutely tea-trolleyed. And I said to him, would our lives be easier? Would our lives be easier if we just got married? And with no hesitation, he just went, I think yours would be, Melina. I deserved that. I'm in no position to be anyone's Meghan Markle. But it's the allure of that kind of thing, I think, because I knew nothing would work out, different beliefs, all that stuff, but it's the allure of that kind of thing. Like a relationship between us would have been forbidden, I'm not even talking about the Quran, I just mean the girls' WhatsApp group. And another time we were out, and we were just chatting away as normal, and nothing romantic between us had happened before, right? Nothing romantic had happened before, but then something strange happened. He did this to me. That is the correct reaction. Thank you very much, guys. Feels very intimate, doesn't it? The hair behind the ear feels very intimate, right? And I could clock the panic in his eyes. I could tell that he could tell that I could clock the panic in his eyes because he gave me a reason as to why he did this. He said he couldn't hear me. That's not how ears work. And it's strange, it's always been difficult for me. Like, I always used to, growing up, I always thought I'd find some at university, right? I did a film studies course, I don't know what I was thinking. And to give you the idea of the kind of guys that I was around, one time in uni we had to watch Black Swan. Have you all seen Black Swan? Okay, awesome. So we know there's a sex scene between Mila Kunis and Natalie Portman, between two ladies, awesome. And we watched this in uni, and as this was happening, all I could smell was deodorant evaporating around me. Bunch of fucking virgins. Myself included at the time. But there was a guy that I liked in my filmmaking group, right? Didn't know him very well, but one time I saw him on a night out, and to describe him, he had that classic green coat, a goatee and a ponytail, fucking catch, and can you feel the genuine pain? And I saw him on a night out. Picture the scene, Halloween 2015, dressed as Dora the Explorer. I looked great. I even had the purple backpack and everything. It was empty, just had my ID and my virginity. And he was coming up to me, clearly off his face on MDMA. And I love it. Nothing for fingered in the school toilets, but some titters for MDMA. Interesting, Leicester. And I'm Leicestershire, it's Leicester City, so maybe that's a difference in upbringings, guys. Niche? Okay, awesome. But he was trying to connect to the people, but I'm just alienating myself. That's what we're here for, guys. But he was off his face on MDMA. His jaw was just the other side of the street, right? And he said the words to me that I'll never forget. He went, Melina! Melina! Oh my God, I'm so glad I've run into you. Now I've run into you. I am so glad I didn't talk myself tonight. How should I have reacted, my love? Probably the same way, right? Maybe asked if he was okay, text a mutual friend, signpost him to the correct well-being team on campus. Instead, in my deranged, lovesick, 19-year-old mind, all I could think was, I'm in. So, yeah, thank you for letting me unload my problems onto you guys, because no one else will. And if you enjoyed any of that, please come say hi. I've got little QR codes with my social media on it. Give me a follow, because as you've established, I'm very lonely. Let's welcome back Leroy. Thank you, guys.
Give it up for Melina. Hey, we got one more act for the show. Have you enjoyed yourself? You're going to love this act now. Okay. Let's make sure the mic is all ready for her. Do you want to start cheering, clapping? A little bit more energy. A little bit more. Give it up for the wonderful Shalaka Kurup.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a real privilege to be here in front of all of you today, because I came here from a third world shithole, London. Just kidding, I'm from India, because someone has to make your clothes, so. I'm Indian, like your Prime Minister. Yeah, I know he's British, but to my mother, he's family. She loves him. It's interesting being Indian. My favorite thing about being Indian is being able to say anything and then say Gandhi after it. And it's wisdom. You know, like, if you can't handle me at my worst, do you deserve me at my best? Gandhi. Or, it's finger licking good. Gandhi. My parents are also Indian. They're very conservative, very traditional, and I'm not, which is weird because I say the word conservative as if I am a conservative. Kind of, you get it? Kind of like in the way that I say the word theatre as if I'm a cunt, you know? Like, that's what I'm going for. They're very conservative, and they want me to meet a man the traditional Indian way, you know, on WebMD. And I knew I was going to disappoint them, so I sat them down, looked them in the eyes, and I said, Mom, Dad, you need to know I'm bisexual. And they said, nice. No, they said, no, you're not. So I'm not. I always knew I was going to disappoint my parents because I grew up a millennial, a 90s kid. Do we have any 90s kids in the audience? Yeah, just two sad people there. It's fine, we're crying. You'll understand this. I grew up a 90s kid, so my favorite musicians were all rappers. So like T-Pain, Dr. Dre, Eminem, 50 Cent. So I grew up with only one dream in my heart my whole life, which was to find a man who'd call me Shawty. Yeah. So obviously now I'm dating a white man from Sheffield, so it's going well. I love white men, huge fan of white men. I only exclusively date white men now, and there's a reason for this. It's because the last time I dated a brown man, he was gone in the middle of the night, and I never saw him again. And I only trust men that I can easily find in the dark. So, stay safe, ladies. Stay safe. It's interesting being here. I've been here for about 10 years now, and I've started to meet more white men. Thank you. I went back to Sheffield with my boyfriend over Christmas, and I met his family, which was a huge learning experience for me. I learned a lot about British culture. The most important thing I learned was the meaning of the word nonce. I've been in this country for 10 years, just using that word willy-nilly. Side note, I don't know what willy-nilly means either, so... How I found out what the word nonce means, I said to my boyfriend's mother, just spilled wine on the sofa like a nonce. Yeah, so his niece isn't allowed around anymore for some reason. It's been fun. I love being here. I've learned a lot about myself being in this country. Like, I've learned, because of my accent, I pronounce things slightly differently. Like, are you British? Yeah? You look it. No, so mean. You say metabolism, don't you? You say metabolism. Yeah, I say metabolism, right? You say retina. Yeah? I say retina. Yeah? You say beef. I say no, thank you. I've also learned that British people love to give you all of their unsolicited opinions. It's always something like, I bet you like cricket, or you're so exotic, or stop sleeping with my husband, we have 3 kids. Like, Gandhi. My favorite unsolicited opinion came from this American girl, actually. She came up to me and she's like, oh my God, where are you from? And I said, I'm Indian. And she said, Indian, is that like dot or feather? Which is incredibly offensive. Incredibly. But what pissed me off more, is this the accent of Pocahontas? You think you own whatever land you land on. Ding chick, no. No. And I understand it, because I've seen Pocahontas, and it's a Bollywood film, right? A brown girl falls in love with a white man. Her parents disapprove. They do some song and dance. They have a happy ending. Then the British kill all of her family. Just simple Bollywood stuff. It's interesting being here. I've had a couple of weird experiences recently. I went for a smear test. Do we know what that is? Ladies, men, it's like an MOT for your vagina. I went for the smear test and this woman cranks me open. And that is how that goes. She cranks me open and she goes, bit dry. Bit dry is how you describe a nice Chardonnay. I came here to find out whether I have cancer, not to get tasting notes. So, yeah, it's been a fun ride. What else can I tell you? I love learning about British culture. Like, I learned that British people, you guys love to struggle in this country. You love struggling. I found out that people in this country voluntarily, with their whole hearts, camp. You guys just go outside and lie down? Brown people don't camp. We don't. We know what a blessing it is to have a roof over our heads. Yeah. Meanwhile, you guys are out here cosplaying being homeless and calling it an experience. It's fascinating. I think a lot about how I got here in my life because I'm going to turn 30 this year. And my granddad, when he was my age, was fighting for the freedom of our country. Like, he was a teenager going to marches, like fighting for our people. And last week, my therapist gave me a coloring book to better handle my anxiety. And I think that's beautiful because my granddad fought his whole life so that I could stand here with my whole heart and identify as a Hufflepuff. And I think that's beautiful. My little cousin, he's even worse than I am. I was talking to him on the phone recently, and he said, "What's up with you?" And I said, "Oh, not much. Oh, I guess we got a coffee maker." And he said, "Oh, what's his name?" Little shit. What else can I tell you? I have a therapist, like I mentioned. He's weird in all the way that therapists are weird, you know, like makes too much eye contact, wears too many turtlenecks, doesn't laugh at any of my jokes about dying, like, he's a bizarre man. He's also weird because he's really obsessed with Freud. Do we know Freud? Do we know the Oedipus complex? Yeah, some of you look unsure. So the best way to describe the Oedipus complex is if someone comes up to you and they're like, "Suck your mum." And you're like, "Huh, yeah, I'll do that." Good. It took you a while, but we're on. I have to go soon, but a couple of things before I go. A couple of things about me. Number one, I'm an only child. That's kind of like when a man and a woman love each other enough. And I'm Indian, so I am obviously a doctor. It is true, I am actually a doctor. Not the useful kind of doctor. By the way, don't clap. Don't clap. You're done with that shit, aren't you? Not the useful kind of doctor. I have a PhD. Rachel? Mine's in trains. National Rail, TfL, Thomas the Tank Engine, trains. Yeah. That's why I don't spit or swallow. I choo-choo. Gandhi. You guys have been really nice. I've been Shalaka. Have a good rest of your night.
Shalaka Kurup! Yes! What a show! That's the end of the show. Have you had a good time tonight? You've been an absolutely lovely audience tonight. You can all find us all on social media. I'm sure we've all got social media. Give a round of applause to yourself. Fucking hell, fair play. And the staff here as well. The staff have been wonderful. Plus Leicester Comedy Festival, all the acts. My name's Leroy Brito. Good night.